Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Long time no see. Oh my goodness. It has been such a long time. I just wanted to check in, see if anyone has questions or what's going on. Yes, I'm back in Cabo. Oh my goodness, my life has been crazy. What's up? Hey y'all, what's going on? What's up? Oh my goodness. What's going on? Good morning. Hey, good morning. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you guys, this was missed. This was missed. This was missed. Hey, Sabella. Hey. Hey, hello, Bico. Hey, I missed this. Look at them making all this noise. This was missed, y'all. Oh my gosh. What? This is why we have to make more so we can live more. I miss, oh my goodness, my bed. I was like, my bed. Oh my gosh, you guys, I miss my home. It's been crazy. Oh, my hair. What's going on? How we doing? My IG fam. Where I been, y'all? Hey, what's up? Do I got some RTQers in here? I know I got some RTQers. I know I got my Instagram folk. What up? I ain't talking about nothing. I really ain't talking about nothing. I just wanted to say, hey, I know it's been a minute. If you are new to me, I am Jenny, and I am a high-paid software tester. I guess that's how I should say it, right? Essentially, I've taught and helped over 80 people land jobs as software testers and make their career pivot. And I'm looking to help even more of you guys. You guys, some of you guys are, hey, I see y'all. I see RTQ. I see y'all. That's what I'm saying. I know some of y'all down there. We in here. You guys. So if you on RTQ, yes, price going up for everybody else. RTQ is going to be $8.97 tomorrow. Yes, I'm back. Because we're finally going to add more. Now, what we're adding is essentially more of still a basic, an intro. We want to help more people be able to position and be more competitive, right? So that means you guys should be able to still be able to heavily contribute to automation at a higher level, to speak and be able to run your first basic script. Even if you're scared or you don't want to code and stuff like this, in RTQ, you are not going to come out of RTQ without knowing how to do some API testing, without knowing how to do back-end SQL validation testing, and most importantly, being inside of Selenium or Catalan and running your first script. You're going to walk away with all of that because I need you guys to be more competitive, but even because, job descriptions are saying automation. I'm so sorry. My thyroid was removed some years ago. And I deal with that sometimes in the morning. So let me drink some water. Totally real and transparent. This is a day. This is a real day in the life. So RTQ. So tomorrow we're releasing intro to programming. Just some basics that we think people should know. Intro to programming with a little bit of understanding of Python and Selenium. Not Selenium. Java or JavaScript at a intro level. But then, most importantly, you're going to be able to run your first script if you haven't already went and did some of your own learning. So tomorrow we're going to be releasing those modules inside of Road to QA. But definitely don't, if you haven't finished the program or been through the internship, don't just jump to that. Okay? You need to learn. You still got a lot of learning to do. My hair keeps sticking up. So you still got a lot of learning to do. So if you're enrolled to QA tomorrow, we're releasing that. And then by the end of this week or next week, we're finally releasing the whole API module. That is really a skill set that I believe every single one of you definitely should have, is API testing. And most importantly, every single one of you guys, I hate when people drink and eat on camera, but yeah, I was choking. So you're going to be able to run your first script. It's going to be a full API module inside of Road to QA. And the whole goal is for you to still go through Road to QA in order. And then when you're done with your 6 steps, practice that some more. So the goal is for you to get some more hands-on. So then when you come to the internship, you've had that experience, and now we talk about more how we position it, how we speak to it, how you can acquire, more experience. Remember, you guys, I truly believe that even in this economy, you can still land your first one. You have to believe it, not just me. You have to understand that you don't have to be proficient, but you definitely need to have a understanding of automation and the contribute and how to contribute to automation. Yes, you're going to see more jobs. It's going to say, hey, they want automation. Jobs are always going to do that, right? But that doesn't mean that they want you to automate. You could even probably be a backup or a senior or a junior engineer. Sorry, let me close this. Or a junior engineer. Maybe they want you to understand and have that skill set. So you guys need to do more, be willing to do more to be competitive. All right, just landed another role. So that tells you after a year, I can still land a role. After a year, that jobs are still out here. You do have to be more competitive. You do have to do more work. I will not be a good mentor or coach if I didn't tell you that you have to be more competitive. Be okay with that. All right. And be okay that every role is not for you for your first one. Remember, you only need that first one. You only need that first role. Just that first role. You only need one. And once you land at one, now you have the ability to skill up, to grow in a company, to go in another direction. You only need one. Some of you guys are so busy trying to skill so hard and think that you got to be proficient that you never get into the market, or you let the job description scare you and you don't even apply. All right. The last internship for the year is October. You have until, I believe, October 4th to apply if you're enrolled in QA. So you got to have all your prereqs done so I can see that you're not going to mess up my board. I think someone's trying to request. What's your question? I just joined this live just in time. Hey, what's up? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? So what questions do we got? What questions do we got? Clicking it, but I don't know. But what question do you have? Can you type your question? Because I keep pressing this up, but it's not working. So wherever that is trying to join, please enter that below because it is just not accepting. Yeah, October. The next one is not till January. The next one is not till January. So you join Road to QA and you go through your program on your own pace, and then you come through the internship. So, but what I was announcing was to my Road to QAers that we are releasing intro to programming, things that we feel that you should know. And then intro to UI automation with Selenium. Intro to Catalan is coming, and API testing is coming by the end of this week or next week. But we had to re-record videos for that. But tomorrow you'll be able to run your first script. So if you haven't already done that on your own, like, we're going to walk you through things that you should do. Things that you should know, so you can speak about, being able to write your first script or understand how to go inside of Selenium. And then we're going to keep building off of that, where we give you just a little bit more. Now, remember, this is definitely for a person who's been through the program. Don't go and think you're going to start learning all this stuff. You can learn the skill. You can learn any skill, but if you can't articulate what something is, why you need it, how you use it, and how to give a scenario of your use, it doesn't matter. And I think that's another problem. A lot of times I'm seeing you guys, even if you go to another boot camp, I'm seeing you guys go and you think that just because, oh, I learned automation. Well, can you talk to them about how you can think about automation, how you show up as a QA analyst engineer? It's not just skill, just like it's not just you talking it. You got to have the skill too. It's in the confidence, and how do you skill yourself up? All of these things going into it. Someone said, I'm probably missing some stuff. Hold on. I'm trying to hold the phone. What was the question? When is it? I already answered that. Definitely will our LinkedIn profile if you want to. Remember, in Road to QA, I don't give you a definite, that's what you need to do. Obviously, the more you have, the more you actually are more attractive to the market. You choose because you have to be comfortable with your positioning, right? Some of you guys have a direct experience, a lot of direct experience. Some of you have a lot of transferable experience. Some of you have not, but then you have also the program, the internship, and your positioning. So you have to be comfortable with your career story. Another topic. That's another thing. Some of you guys are getting to the market. I need y'all to be honest, okay? And I need you to be honest with yourself. There's some other things we're adding to Road to QA to try to help you guys. We do not claim to be resume specialists, but I think we're pretty good at knowing what the resume should look like. Some of you guys come to Road to QA and maybe you need help with your resume, but maybe you feel that the resources we provided, which I don't think is expensive because Lori is like 300 and something. Sometimes she runs specials, but we are going to start doing a monthly group hot seat where you submit, whoever submits first. One of our team members in Road to QA is actually going to do like a resume hot seat review and show you some little tips and tricks to improving your resume and giving feedback live. And so those will live in Road to QA too. So even if you miss those, you can get an idea of different ways that you can improve your resume. Another thing is we're going to be offering like a resume support. It'll be like, I think $100. So, and then you'll get on a call with one of the team members and they can give you feedback and tweaks. So that's our way to, again, Road to QA is designed where we're not trying. We don't want you to have to stay on. We don't want you to keep having to invest in anything, but we're trying to help close gaps where there are gaps. And some of you guys, when I'm looking at your resumes, you say, I've applied for 300 jobs and my phone isn't ringing. That's a problem. One, we're in a more highly competitive market, but that tells me, one, your resume. Yes, Savelle. Yeah, you can send that. You can send that over to me, and so I can take a look. So yeah, the goal is I want you to land your first one. I don't want you to take a year. See, I think a lot of times too, we think we have time. So that's when we think, oh, what about this economy? What about that economy? Is this job going to last and stuff like that? You need to land your first one. Can we just get the first one? And if something happens to one job, you can go and take your skills to somewhere else or continue to skill yourself up. I think a lot of times we're so used to nowadays, I don't know what it is, but everything's so automated to us that we don't think we got to do no work. I don't think we got to put no effort into this. I still have to put effort into my skill set. Do you know, I just landed my most recent role, and do you know, I think it was probably the hardest interview I did. It was probably one of the hardest interviews I actually did. It actually really challenged me. And I have to continue to upskill myself to be ready for those things. But guess what? When I do those interviews, I bring it back to Road to QA. I teach my students, how we can, speak to that. And we can, so we, whenever we get those type of interview questions. So anyways, I don't want to ramble. The update is just say, hey, it's been a long time. So miss you guys. And two, we have finally started to release tomorrow intro to programming, think what we feel you should know, and then basics, and then intro to Selenium, where you can create your first script. So inside of Road to QA, if you are done with, you went through the 6 steps, you're done with the internship, if you have and I think we probably even no, that's fine. And if you are done with the 6 steps, then you'll be able to go, use that module to learn intro to automation tomorrow using Selenium. Then we're adding intro to Catalan by next week, and then a whole module on API testing, because I feel everyone should be able to speak to that at a higher level. Remember, guys, every job won't require you to have proficient levels of understanding and knowledge or experience in each of those, but it's for you to know them. All right. Like my most recent role, in an interview, they asked me about API and database validation testing, but in my role, I was more front end testing, and test case writing. So you still need to know these things, and that's why Road to QA is what it is, because we feel all you need is that first one. That first role, all you need is to land that first role. That first role will position you to skill up. That first role will allow you to grow with a company. That first role will allow you to go into different, QA roles, whether you want to go more management or you want to go more technology, but all you need is that first one. And I think a lot of you are allowing the market to scare you when jobs are still out there. They will still be out there. I don't care how much they ask for automation. That means just you need to be able to speak to it more. Even if you don't want to automate, you still need to be able to speak to it. It's not what you say, is how you say it. So if you're in an interview and they ask you, hey, can you tell me about your automation experience? You can say, sure, in my most recent role, this is what I did, this, and this. This is my experience up to this. This is how I upskilled myself at this time. I do have experience with Selenium and Python at this level. However, that's never been a requirement of my direct role. We had an automation tester, but I have been able to create basic scripts using this, and this. See how I did that? See how I did that? Email to help desk. Those type of questions, yeah, email to help desk. Vanessa will reach out. And more than likely, if your year is up, then that means that you need to be on a class pass. So that means that you can, if your year is up, in order for you to participate in you didn't do any of the internships we offered for 8 months, you need to be on a class pass. And that's either $497 for another year, only for students, past students, or $49 for a month. So that means if you want to join on a class pass, you have to, if you want to do the internship for January and your year is up, that means for $49, you just join in for that month, do it for that month, and that's fine. But if you want to continue to have access to the call and stuff, you'll still be on a class pass. So that's what we've done. We extended all of that for 8 months. So you can just take a month and just do a class pass. And as long as you're in your active year, or as long as you're on a class pass, then you can go ahead and participate. So that would actually be the answer to that. And so that's only ever offered to past students. We will never offer anything at $49 a month to anybody. That's just if you go past your year and then you still want to come back for an internship experience because you didn't take that, or you want to be as part of the live stuff that we're doing. So yeah, Road to QA is definitely going to be growing into a different program. We have some additions to what we're bringing. It's taken a while, but I think the goal is that I never want to add too much because it's already a lot. I mean, can you guys tell me if you guys are in here, any RTQers? I mean, like, it's a lot in there, and I don't think people understand that for under what we've offered to this point, $600, you land a role that's an average of $70K. Your first check is $24.92 or $26.92, and you do the work, you land your first role, you got your investment back. Now you take that, you build upon that, you skill yourself up, and you continue to grow however you want in your career. That's the goal of Road to QA. Road to QA is that version. We have people that are now product owners, scrum masters, business analysts. I don't always like some business analyst roles because I feel like they kind of sometimes can be also underpaid and do a lot of work. But data analysts, another thing, if you guys are RTQers, another thing, also even learning some form of RPA, robotic process automation. Look at those jobs. If you're on RTQ, go look at RPA, robotic process automation. I've even seen some roles that even liked you if you understood that, but you had testing experience. This is where you guys got to remember, Road to QA is not just saying that I just want you to be a QA. Road to QA is that way in. Road to QA is that pivot because you only need one. And once you get that one, now you're positioning yourself for higher pay, for more possibilities of growth, for also more opportunities of, remote, hybrid, or a direct hire contract or, you know, remote roles, right? You can always take your skills somewhere else. Any questions? But I just popped in to say, hey, you guys, I know it's been a while. Um, I have been in Georgia, and I was supposed to be in Georgia even longer. I actually was not supposed to be here this soon. Some things changed, so I'm here. And that's where it's at, you know. And it's like when I came back, it's like, you know what? I I feel good that I am here. Hey. So other than that, I just came to check in, see how you guys are doing, answer any questions if you have some. If you're enrolled to QA, continue to inspire you and to just, hey, RTQ. RTQ has a lot of info. Thanks. You're welcome. And just to inspire my RTQers, I think a lot of times you guys see all the good, but the struggles can still be real behind the scenes for students, right? Being in a market, having to keep retweaking a resume. What if a recruiter, you know, ghosts you? What if you interview and you don't get a response back or feedback? You know, all of these things is why you are a part of this community, to push you to keep going. You only need one. I've had 8. You only need one. It's possible. And this is the reality of where I'm going with my life. I think my program was an accident in me growing my program. Oh, you're going through crack the code now. How's that? So a lot of stuff. Crack the code. How much was crack the code? $99. We've had some people in rows off of just listening and said, don't sleep on crack the code, you guys, or them 3-day challenges. Them was raw. Those was raw. But people, I've had 4 people in jobs off of taking that information. Just from that alone, at least from who reached out to me. It's funny because I just found out, like, there's 3 people I believe that landed roles and haven't told me yet, but told somebody else. And so I'm like waiting, like, okay, you know, where y'all at? You know, I like to celebrate my students. But and that's because I think we also go through imposter syndrome and believing that this is real. People want to start, they may get the offer, but they might want to get through the background check. And after the background check, they just want to start, or maybe they have to start and they just want to get their first check. And to them, that's what makes it feel like they're real. So I respect the progress and what, you know, how someone wants to share that with me. But you guys, if you guys are out there, please let me know, because I love to celebrate all of my students. So, what was I saying? So yes, you guys, I want you guys to not be scared of the market. Don't just be on, but I'm pretty sure I'll sign up. All right, let's go. Hey, Blue. This is Blue. She's in my way. Hey, Blue. Hey. So anyway, um, can you give an example of how you speak to road to QA on your resume? You don't. If you're on road to QA, you know that. You don't. You come through the internship, and you speak to the internship, and you get that when you go through the internship. Because why? Why do we do that in Road to QA? Because I don't want you guys looking like you just took another program or course. I want you to stand on your transferable experience and your internship experience. And so we also, when you go through the internship, then we give you that information on how to position it. And so you get me personally, where I need your resume, and then I'll look at, because some people actually have direct experience. Some people have a lot of transferable experience, and you're using your same job. So I give you 2 different ways, or 3 different ways. Now we actually have an update on that coming too, on how to position. But yeah, I don't want you to ever personally blame Road to QA. That's right. You use the internship company. Use my consulting company, because you're on a real live project, on a day in the life in QA. And so that's what you actually take. But then I have many students, probably a good half and half now, that's never even used an internship on their resume. They was totally fine with using their transferable skills. And I mean, I haven't had anybody come back and tell me that anything in background check had kept them further, because again, you're not lying, you're finessing your resume to show that you can do the job. You're positioning your resume to show your transferable skills and experiences. So I want you guys to remember, experience is not just your work experience. You're going to take what you're learning in Road to QA, any program, and you're going to take what you're learning from that program. And you have direct experience, you have transferable experience, you have course experience, you have program experience. At a high level, you're going to be speaking and saying, so let me see. If I was, okay, because remember, I don't like you, we don't position as newbies. We ain't new to this. If you've been working for 10 years, you ain't new. Just because your mind is just thinking that you haven't had a job title of QA. But how you speak, or how I would confidently speak, is I would have my resume position very high in transferable skills and experiences and keywords, optimized. And then from there, if I'm in an interview, I would talk, and speak, yes, thank you for showing up thank you for inviting me to this interview. Within the last 7 years, I've actually been a part of the healthcare world. In the healthcare world, I did this, and this, and this. However, I found a love for software testing. I've taken some online training courses and programs throughout the past few years. I also found I've actually been doing QA work, this, and this, and this in my most previous roles. And in my most previous roles, I've been exposed to this, and this, and this. My knowledge of this, and this, and this. You see, I know I'm saying this and this, but do you guys get where I'm going with that? You can be authentic, but you got to tell a good career story. And you can't just look like a newbie. And as a QA analyst, these companies don't like for you to look new. Because when you look new, they feel like they got to train you. It is really hard to have someone come in and train you all on QA by itself. They need you to come in and take the core of QA testing and plug into their system and know that you're also someone maybe they can train up, or that's going to do the work to continue to skill yourself to help with their testing. All right. So again, when you go into the market, your resume, absolutely, to compete in today's economy, you need to speak to at least, I say, 5 to 7 years experience. Now, I do have some very young people on Road to QA too, but if you've been working a job for the last 7 years, you have experience. First of all, quit discounting who you've been and get a resume specialist to help you use transferable experiences and find those transferable experiences so you can speak to QA. Then on a high level, you speak to, here's what I know. So on a high level, if I've been in healthcare tomorrow, my resume is still going to represent some healthcare work, but also any transferable experiences and keywords that I can use from QA to show that I have QA knowledge, right? Even if I didn't do that every day. Some of you are sitting in roles right now, or jobs, or have been, and you have helped tested a product when they updated. You helped train another team member. You work on onshore and offshore teams. You've read business requirements to understand functionalities. These are all QA transferable skills and experiences. Now you top that with you learning QA roles and experiences. With actually you being in a day in the life of QA after you also come through the internship. So now you take what you've done in the internship, and now at a high level, you can now put everything together. All the terminology that you've been learning, now you put everything together, and now you can speak it. See, the difference, the internship is going to now allow you to speak this, talk the talk, walk the walk. And then it's also going to open you up to any more aha moments that you might actually have more transferable experience, but you're forgetting about it. See, the reason why you do that pre-homework, RTQers, is because I'm already gearing you to start thinking and finding your transferable experience. All right? Is that helpful for anybody? Let me know, because I just be talking. So stop going into the market. Y'all not new. You shouldn't be positioning like you new. Don't no company want to hire nobody that is looking like they new. All right? You go into the market, you take the experience of who you been, you add a little sprinkle on top of something new. You also add on how you actually are a software tester, and you tell that good career story. So let's say you're coming from customer service. You're coming from customer service, but you came to the program, you learned and enrolled to QA, then you did the internship, where we're going to, first of all, you're going to find all your experience from being a customer in customer service. Then we're going to find transferable experience to see if we can add some bullet points in there of transferable experience to speak to some QA terminology, because we need high keywords. We need your resume to be optimized as much as possible. And Then on top of that, you have the internship if you want to. Again, you don't have to use the internship on your resume. I have half and half. A lot of the students never even put the internship on their resume. They still have their regular job, and they just use the experience of the internship to close the gaps and to walk the walk and talk the talk. Because now they're in an internship where they're like, oh, this is why we're doing this. Oh, this is how I say this. Oh, this is this type of testing. Oh, this is how I think like a QA. See, you're closing the gaps. Most students, when I see resumes, never even use the internship. Now, some that do, most that do, is also individuals that maybe had gaps or haven't been working in a while, things of that nature. But most of my students that have been working, once they come through the program, they realize either they had some type of direct experience or transferable experience, or they're very comfortable in their learning where they can walk the walk and talk the talk in scenario-based answers. We don't show up looking like a QA. I mean, looking like an unexperienced QA. All right? Let me know. I'm going to stop. Is that helpful? All right? So remember, your experience is direct experience, transferable experience, course experience, certificate experience. And you take all of that, and here's what you do. If you're in an interview, this is how you also form your own tell me about yourself. You guys stop sounding like a template. I know I give one too, but you stop sounding like a template. So if I'm in an interview and maybe I actually I have no direct QA experience, but I came through the program, did the internship. I feel good about everything. I was in customer service. So now I want to say, in an interview, and if I'm introducing myself, I may say, hi, thank you so much for allowing me in this interview. I'm so excited to be a part of your company. Because this is actually testing a POS application, I really feel that my strong experience in customer service is going to play a big part of this. Because on a daily basis, I was actually a customer service manager on the POS machines, managing that, at Walmart, yada, yada, yada. However, also combining it with my understanding of QA, I actually found a love in QA, and I've been doing online courses and programs. I've done a few projects. I've been a part of also a paid or internship experience where we actually tested on a e-commerce site, and we did this, and this, and this. I did API testing. I did front-end testing, back-end testing, a little bit of database validation testing. My skill level with SQL is here. Do you guys see how I'm doing that? Do you guys see how you can still speak to saying you have experience? You can still say, I am a QA tester, with 7 years of customer service experience and exposure to this. You have to tell your own story. Stand in that. All right? Stand in who you've been. Pull out who you've been. Don't discount who you've been. Just be who you are and add some sprinkles on top. Some of y'all ain't sprinkling enough. Save this, okay? Some of y'all ain't sprinkling enough. All right? So it's a few ways you can do it. You can do an experienced QA. Maybe some of you guys have a lot of transferable experience. I have some of my students, I read some of you guys' intakes, and you guys have a lot of transferable experience. You guys have done UAT testing, or you've helped retest on the back end of another team, and you didn't realize that you actually was QA testing. So for those type of people, you actually do have more direct experience where you can say, I'm an experienced QA analyst, or I'm an experienced QA tester, with over 7 years experience doing this, and this, right? Then another person, they may have none or no direct experience. QA is maybe maybe you was a welder, right? And I say that because I actually had a student that was one, and it's actually a hard pivot. But let's just say maybe you did more manual labor work, or you was on construction, right? So how would you formulate that? So I'm going to try to find any way that you use hardware or software or whatever type of things is going to be in alignment with analyzing, with any skills you got to do to analyze a construction site, right? But at the same level, now you have understanding of QA testing. You took some programs, some courses, you did some certificates. Maybe you got your Agile Scrum cert. All right. Now you need to articulate your understanding of how to test. See, the problem is you guys want to learn the terms, but you don't speak the language. You're not speaking the language. You got to speak the language. All right. So even if you haven't done it for 7 years, you have 7 years worth of work experience. Don't discount that. Now you just some sprinkle on top and say, however, I've been actually learning API testing, and what currently in my level of API testing is actually being able to verify the response codes for get, put, post, and delete, to also, verify the status code, the loading. You see how now I'm still speaking a language? Like, a lot of times you guys are trying to position like you so new, because like you so imposterous, that you're not even speaking to your skill level. You're not even speaking to how you could test, how you think about testing. They want to hear, they want you to talk like an analyst. You have to show your analyst side. Stop going in there timid and scared. They don't want to hire that, but they're willing to hire someone that's honest to say, here's who I've been, here's what I know, here's my understanding of testing, here's how I will test. And then on top of that, here's how I continue to skill myself, and here's how I'll be an asset to your company. I was discouraged speaking to QA for it. Yeah. So that's about your career story. You gotta find out how you're going to position that that career story. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you have only been a nanny for years, more than likely with any role, right, you're less competitive, right? So you definitely have to tell some type of story and position at a higher level. So that would mean you would really have to use the internship to its core, because now you don't have all those years of experience. However, I don't know the term, but go do your research. Somebody on Road to QA was a nanny, and they landed a role. Or I'm gonna say, I think they worked at a daycare center, and she said it was called being a domestic engineer. Look that up. Do I got that right? Some of you guys are taking your jobs. There are some six-figure nannies. Being a nanny is a six-figure job, because you also using your analyst skills take care of them kids. Now, I'm being silly, but there's also other things, right? And how you're prepping the house, or how you are, managing the technology for, I don't know, to check kids in and stuff. Now, again, I'm being a little silly with that, but for real though, she said it was called domestic engineer. You engineer something. So now, what kind of walk are you going to talk? So now you add the internship. You come through that. We talk. You come through the internship. You complete it, right? And then from there, now you can talk the talk as a QA. Yes, in most of my years, I've actually been a nanny. I've actually been a domestic engineer. I did this, and this. I was responsible for this. However, during this time, I discovered software testing, where I've actually done some certificates. I've done this online. I've also built some projects here to also show my skill. But then I also was able to be a part of an internship, where I actually was in this internship with this experience, and we was in an agile environment. We actually practiced. We actually worked on a software project that was for an e-commerce site. We did some front-end testing, some back-end testing, some middleware testing. We did functional testing, positive and negative testing. We did some sanity testing. You see how I'm doing that? So your hardest part is going to be having your resume stand out. But I want you guys to all realize that you have something. Now you just need to add the sprinkle on top. Some of y'all ain't sprinkling enough. Many of y'all are not sprinkling enough. Many of you guys are saying, "Oh, I took this program. I'm new. Can you hire me? Give me a chance?" No company want a QA analyst. It's like, can you give me a chance? They scared you gonna break this. They scared you really gonna break their software. A company don't have time to teach you the core of software testing. They're a software company, or they got software. They need you to come in and know how to break it, to test it, not to break it because you don't know what you're doing. Don't be presenting yourself like, "Hi, I'm new, yes, I've only been at this for, 6 months, and I'm trying to land my first one." No, that ain't what we do. I've been a part of the healthcare experience. I've been actually in healthcare, or I've actually been in healthcare and I was a nurse. I've had nurses make a pivot, and I know some nurses make some good money, but some just was tired of going in. So I've actually was a nurse, and on a day-to-day basis, I would actually scan in patient charts. I also use the patient registration, and here's, this, and this, and this. When they made an update, I actually helped test it and do some UAT testing. In my most recent project, I actually worked on an e-commerce site where we did some front-end testing, some back-end testing, some API testing. I'm looking for a company where I can grow my software, continue to grow, and with my software testing skills on a day-to-day basis, here's how I'm upskilling myself. See how I'm doing that? You're already a software tester. You just don't know it yet. All right? People want someone as bad. So when I say be competitive, you're competing against people who can say, I have 10 years of experience doing this, and this. You think they want to hire someone that's like, hi, I'm new. Can you give me a chance not to break your software? I'm not sure if I really know how to test it. I understand testing, but I think I need you to train me on how to test. They don't want that. They want someone that's going to come in. Hey, here's my skill level with testing. Here's how I think outside of the box. Here's how I would test positive and negative scenarios. Here's what I would do here. Here's an example of what I've done. Here's how I would approach this situation. And here's how I'll be an asset to your company. That's the story you should be telling. They would give you a chance if you could tell that. But if you're saying, well, I only do front-end testing, but I'm not sure of SQL database. I don't practice that. Oh, I only do front-end testing, but I don't want to do automation, so I don't even know how to contribute or think to automation. Oh, I only do front-end testing, so I don't know how to do API testing or how to think about it. They don't want to hire you. They ain't gonna hire you. You're right. You won't be competitive. And if you're gonna speak like that in an interview, that means your resume ain't speaking. So start with the resume. Your resume got to tell a good career story to make somebody say, let me see why I even want to put her in front of me. Is that helpful? Is that too much? Was there a takeaway there? I hope so. I hope there was a takeaway somewhere, because I feel like somebody got to tell y'all the truth, because even with my RTQ words, love y'all, but some of y'all playing games. I don't care if you tell me I put in 400 applications. If your resume ain't speaking a good story, you the problem. And your resume the problem. And if you don't know how to do that, then get a resume specialist. Okay? It just is what it is. You tweak it until you can. Then if you can't, then you just need to go get some help. All right? I'm here to show you how to position the tools, the skills, the knowledge, the confidence, how to get past the interview. But you telling your story, you got to pull that out of you, and you got to be willing to be comfortable with the career story that you're telling and the value that you're going to bring to a company. Most of you guys are not telling or selling the value that you're going to bring to testing in that company. Most of you guys are getting into the market saying, I just learned this, give me a chance. They don't want you. Quit getting in the market saying, I just learned this, give me a chance. You get to the market saying, this is who I've been, this is what I know, this is where I'm going, this is the value that I'm going to bring, and this is why I am a damn good software tester and you need me. Excuse my language. I'm going to sit down. I'm sorry. I realize I'm cursing. But it's because I get tired of, with love, the excuses. It is hard. No one said that this journey is easy. But most of you guys don't realize you the problem. You the problem, and you're not putting enough effort. You think just because you learned a skill, now I'm just going to get into the market. I don't tell you that. And don't be lying saying I tell you that, because I'll tell you that. The work starts when you get in the market. The first thing you do is you audit your process. You put that resume in the market for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You apply to your 20 or 30 per day. One, are you even applying, or are you just sitting it in the market? Two, when you apply, are you tweaking it after 3 or 4 weeks? Three, if they are calling you, are you getting past the recruiter? Then if you get past the recruiter, are you getting the interview? Then if you get the interview, are you passing the interview? You got to audit your process. And most of y'all want to audit, and then you want to say, I took this program, or I came into this program, and I took this program, but I haven't landed a job. Why haven't you landed a job? Tell me what you've done up until this point that proves that you've done enough until you got your first yes. Tell me that you're telling a good career story. Because some of guys, also, if you're not, because then that's not even half of, then you got to be confident when you speak. You gotta be confident. I'm so confident. You ask me now, all I've been doing probably is software testing all my life. I probably forgot I've done technical support, Facebook ad management, virtual assistant. I done forgot all that because I'm a software tester. And that's how I lead who I am. So when I'm in an interview, if someone say, tell me about yourself, I'm gonna say yes. Thank you. Now I haven't done this in a while, so let me try it on live. Yes, so thank you for having me for this interview. I have almost 8 years or almost 10 years now of experience in the IT world as a whole. However, I came into software testing after being in technical support. I've done a lot of remote customer service and mostly technical support jobs behind the scenes on software companies. I work for this company, this company, this company. However, now within my QA experience, I've actually done API testing, front-end testing, back-end testing. I've used tools like Jira, Zephyr, Catalan Studio, Selenium. I don't automate. However, I've been in most of my roles. They actually had an automation automation team. However, I've been heavily exposed to Catalan Studio or Selenium and Python, where I actually can even help create basic scripts or maintain scripts. See how I'm doing that? So even with that, I pivoted. I even told that I've had technical support, but that's how I came to software testing. So if I'm new, I might say, yes, thank you for having me with this interview. I'm so excited to be here. What I love about this is that this software is actually testing application for a restaurant seating chart, whatever. I'm just throwing something out there. For a restaurant. And what I love about this, I've actually been a waiter for a bartender for a lot of my life, or a waiter for a lot of my life. And with that, I actually learned about software testing during this time where I was actually bartending. So I actually have bartender experience or waiter experience, as well as taking courses and certificates online. I've been a part of a project, an e-commerce project, where we actually was in an agile scrum environment with a team of 6 on a daily basis. We would write test cases, execute test cases, report defects. We actually would do front-end testing, back-end testing, middleware testing. We did smoke testing, regression testing, end-to-end testing, integration testing. So although I only have about 2 years of experience, I have a lot of knowledge of what it means to actually approach testing. You see how I'm doing that? Now, I probably had a lot of hiccups in there. But the whole point is to show you guys can get into the market and be authentic, but you got to tell a great, I'm going to say, damn good story. That's what I got to say. Say, okay, yeah, we'll make sure I'll hopefully, yeah, make sure I'll say. So you guys got to tell a great career story. Some of you guys aren't willing to tell a story. You get into the market and then you're like, I finished the internship. Now I'm just in the market. You're not trying to tweak your resume. You're not testing it against the market. You think you're just going to stay in there and say you've been applying for 20 to 30 a day and then think it's going to hurt my feelings. It ain't. It ain't. Because 9 times out of 10, I can guarantee you still ain't doing one of the 5 things. You ain't auditing your process. You really ain't applying for 20 or 30 per day. You're not tweaking your resume. And then when you do get the phone to ring, you can't get past the recruiter, meaning you're not speaking a good career story. You're not speaking intelligently or confidently. And then when you get an interview, same thing happens. When you think, go research the word analyst and see what that means. You should show up like an analyst. You should show up and think like an engineer. All right. You are a QA now. If you're coming to my program, you're QA now. Show up like one. But if you get into the job market and you're like, hi, I did this program and now I'm looking for a QA role, that's not how you get into the market. I don't teach you that. Where they learn that at? Because I teach you, you're already a software tester. But you got to show up like one. Too many of you are going out there like, hey, no, that's not what we do. We show up intelligently. We show up like I got over 7 years direct experience in the healthcare field. Let's take Blue Cross for instance. My husband was in insurance, right? So for years he was an insurance broker. All right. So my husband shows up to so let's just say he just going in new, right? So although he's had 5 QA roles now, but in his interview, one of his first roles was for a POS machine, but then also for I think Humana, something like that. Yeah, Humana. So in his interview, if maybe he's been working behind the scenes as an insurance broker, he could say, yes, like I'm so excited about this interview with you, Humana, because I actually have over 7 years of actually being an insurance broker. So I understand all the different compliances against what it actually means to enroll new clients, or them accepting certain terms and things of this nature. So I believe I'm going to be very valuable to your company as a tester, as a QA analyst, combined with my analyst skills. Although I've been doing testing this amount of time, this is my knowledge that I have about testing. I understand definitely how to test from the front end and back end. I've actually done a project with this company on e-commerce testing. I think this is going to be important to testing. I know how to think like a tester from the perspective of a healthcare application. So I'm so excited to be here in this interview and to contribute to testing. Do you see how I'm doing that? Some of y'all don't want to tell a good story. So we ain't got to lie. We finesse. But we finesse by being strong on who you've been and adding a sprinkle on top of what you know that's new. And we say, give me the job because I'm already a QA tester. Is that helpful? I'm gonna get ready to go off. Just let me know if that's helpful. Is it good? Okay. All right. Let me know. I know y'all ain't gonna lie to me. So your homework is, whether you're in my program or someone else's program or just trying to make a career pivot, is to remember that you have experience, you have skills and knowledge. Now add some damn sprinkle on top. Excuse my language. All right. I have a student who was working in a warehouse. That student today has 2 roles, 2. And she was working in the warehouse, landed a role where now she's testing for a clothing company for the warehouse. But she's a tester now. And I believe her income jumped $20 more an hour. She was always a software tester. She just didn't know it yet. So let's add some sprinkle on top. Let's stop getting to the market saying we knew. You guys have to be competitive. I'm going to hold you to the fact that you have to be competitive. You only need that one yes. And I don't care if, that's right, sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't care if it is a remote, a hybrid, or on-site. I don't care if it's a contract or a direct hire. You only need one role to make your pivot, and now you can go gain more experience, continue to skill yourself up, or grow in that industry, or grow in other career paths. You only need one. But because we're in the type of economy we're in, you guys have to add a little more sprinkle. You guys have to add a little more value. You guys have to attack the market like you need me. Quit attacking the market like you need them. That's really what y'all are doing. All right. Is that, okay, good example, right? Yeah, that's really what you're doing. When you go into the market, you like, hey, I'm new. I just took this program. Oh, I just learned data analyst. Oh, I just learned API testing. Can you? No, that's not how we get into the market, baby. We get into the market like, this is who I've been. This is what I've done. This is what I know. This is how I contribute. This is how I think. This is why you should hire me. That's what you should be doing. And add your sprinkle on top. Add your value. And this is why I say that some of you guys don't realize, I don't care that I've had 8 QA roles. The fact that if you had different experience than me, you actually could land a role over me. We're not always directly competing against each other just because you know QA and I know QA. Because I don't care if you actually have, let's just say, for instance, I'm going to tell you a really big one: mortgage, banking. People that's been in, right, Sabella, call, help wanted, right? They need your help. A person that's been in the background of banking and finance, mortgage type of stuff, you guys, I'm gonna tell y'all can have them jobs. I'm typically not a person that, and I just got to roll with a bank. But typically, when we talk about mortgage specifically, financing, those type of software companies, some of you guys, I've met some of you guys, and you guys have been in mortgage financing and stuff like that. Do you understand the value you bring by knowing that terminology and understanding that industry? And all you got to do is add your sprinkle on top of testing. That's what I mean by your value. You guys are looking at the job titles you had, and you're not looking at finding the transferable skills and experiences and the alignment to say, I can do this too. But then if you do it, you're also going into the market acting like, hey, I'm new to this. Can you hire me and give me a chance? I made a career pivot last fall into tech. One of the on the sales sides of things. You can do it. It's a myth. Yeah. Yeah. And see, sales, y'all can have sales. I've seen some of y'all in tech make a lot of money in sales. Y'all can give me 400. Well, I'm not going to lie. You know, like if I needed money tomorrow, then that'd be different. I'd be whoever I need to be. But sales is just not who I am as a person. So it's just not typically an industry that I go for. But if you want to go for sales, go for sales. Do whatever, right? Some of you guys are you sitting on skills and you making excuses. There's opportunities out here, whether it's actually doing like sales or it's also, you know, testing or, you know, like it's opportunities. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah. Let's add some sprinkle on top, you guys. You guys have value. Find your value. Find your direct experience if you have any. Find your transferable experience. If you've taken courses and programs, if you've done certificates, if you've done a project, if you've done an internship, all of that experience, all of that is experience. Now you tell a great career story. It doesn't have to be that your career story, because I think sometimes you guys are thinking so chronological in your life of the jobs that you work that you're not realizing that you have value. All right. So let me say that again. I think sometimes that we're looking at our resume so chronological, just in order of who we've been, that we're not pulling out the important parts of who we've been, the important parts of how we've contributed to companies. Pull that out. Now add some sprinkle on top and let them know, yes, I've actually attended an Agile Scrum, 2-day workshop. I have my certificate as Agile as a Scrum. You know, here's how I would approach it. Here's what I know. A lot of you guys are so busy, you know, trying to sell that you actually just went to a program somewhere. That's why I don't tell my students today. In fact, I don't ever want none of my students, at least right now, because we actually was working on partnering to be actually a certified workforce development company, but I kind of got behind on the paperwork in the application, just being very honest. But I prefer for you, like, I don't want you to ever say road to QA. Why? Because I feel that you can take what we actually show you, add some sprinkle on top, add your positioning, add the internship if you want to use it, because most of you guys are really confident in your roles once you come through the internship, and go land your first role. Tell a great career story. I don't want none of my students looking like they just took a program, because everybody taking programs now. So what makes you different? But when you come through the internship and you're able to say, I've actually have experience doing front end testing, back end testing, middleware testing. So I do some API testing, some database validation. I know how to do smoke testing, regression testing, end-to-end testing. All of these things, I know how to think about testing. I know how to, create test cases off a Happy Path, from Happy Path, or when there's, minimum requirements. It's about how you think and show up like a tester. Show that value. Stop getting into market asking them to train you, is what it sounds like a lot of you guys are doing when I see your resumes or the story you're telling. You're telling them, I don't have any experience and I still need your support. As a QA analyst and engineer, and please understand, I've worked 8 different QA roles, and when I tell you this last role I just joined, it's totally different than what I've done. I mean, the core basis of writing test cases, executing them, using the software is the same, but their process is different. Their workflows is different. Me having to learn the application and understand the business requirements. I got to do that on every role. I go through the same feeling. Y'all don't even understand every time I land a new role. You're always going to have to relearn, because essentially when you land a new QA role, you haven't been on that software. You might have been in an industry of that software, but you haven't actually been on their software. So you're having to relearn. That's what a QA analyst does. And it's your job to go into a role and to be the SME. All right. But if you're going into the interviews not looking like that you can become the SME, they're not going to hire you. They don't hire me. It just rhymed. But for real, so you have to show up like a SME, so a subject matter expert. And some of you guys actually have subject matter expert experience in your past jobs, but you're not shining a light on that. What's the average time it takes your students to find jobs right now? Honestly, that's honestly, I can't even tell you. We're trying to do more metrics, but it's hard because we're a self-paced program and everyone's on their own journey. I can tell you that we have averaged since the beginning of this year, 5 students landing roles per month. I think we're a little bit behind on September now. Well, no, I got to check our thing. No, I think we've landed, yeah, we've definitely been on average of 5 people landing roles per month. But I would say for anything is normally once you get into the market, it could take an average of 90 days to 6 months. So, and we are in a harder economy, but people are still landing roles. I think that's the most important thing, is realize people are still landing roles. But yeah, because it's a self-paced program, it's a really hard metrics for us to actually monitor, because everyone is on their own journey. People are going to stop. People are going to, that's kind of what it is. So now we're starting to try to monitor people that come through the internship. But again, that gets hard because, again, people stop. People don't do all the things. Some people realize they need more interview practice, so they pause. So that's just a real life hard number. But I would say the average person, once you're in the market, is going to take you anywhere from 90 days to 6 months. I mean, it takes the average company 100 days to hire a new person. I just started a role, and it took almost 3 weeks for me to start. So we have to look at all of those things. So I hope that was helpful. But yeah, I would say for a self-paced program, we have 80 people that's landing roles, but since the beginning of just 2023 alone, we've averaged 5 to 6, but 5 people. Hey, just reminded me to put that ticket in. You taking long. I done been traveling for 45 days back. But yeah, put it in, put whatever you in, put whatever you need in to the team. They're here to support you behind the scene. I know Vanessa comes in a little later though for today, but definitely just, yeah. So I hope this was helpful for today, you guys. Let's add some sprinkle on top. Stop getting into the market looking like you're new. They don't want to see you're new. And you can absolutely be authentic in your pivot. You do not have to, there's a level of how you can speak to years of experience without having years of experience or direct years of experience. You find transferable experience and you add your sprinkle on top. You add your story of why they need you, why you'll be of value. Many of my students land their role, and they landed their role because also of their personality and their honesty. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to definitely try to get off of here and try to say this, but I just want to say I'm back. I'm back, and I'm so excited for the new things we're finally trying to bring in Road to QA. My personal life has been hectic too. Y'all also have, my son, I have my daughter, my husband, my family traveling. But so real life happens for me too. And outside of Road to QA, I have some things coming. I did a not so pretty marketing masterclass where we're wrapping that up, sending out some stuff to those people that participated in that. And then it is my goal to help people to make 6 figures in their career, or high paid, or to make a career pivot, I'll say, and to be on the road to 6 figures. But to make a career pivot and to make more so you can live more. And how we do that is being able to help you, pivot and land a high paid role as a software tester, or to also create your own digital program and courses. I believe that there's a lot of people out there teaching that, but if you choose me, I definitely feel like I can show you how to do it. So I'm excited about what we have with my Monetize You University coming. And some different stuff coming. I think I'm at a different level of my life, and I've had different success of what I've done. And so now I want to help you not only make more money in your career, but outside your 9 to 5. I think a lot of times we just try to think, oh, I want $10,000, $20, $10,000, $20,000. But what if you could just make $1? My husband used to tell me, what about just making $1? Then I made $100, then I made $1,000, then I made $10,000 in a month, then I made $10,000 in a day. So what if you can do that? How could just making an extra $1,600 a month change your life? And I think a lot of times, just like I teach you guys that you have value in your skills and your positioning, now I want to teach you that you have something that you can give the world and you can make more money. All right, let's use the power of whatever. Don't think that all these people out here talking about online marketing and digital marketing and stuff like that. Stop thinking these people are scamming. Well, some people do be scamming. Many people be scamming. But what I'm saying is just find someone who's authentic. And I think the first thing is, just like I teach you guys in Road to QA, just all you need is your one. Now I want to teach you is all you got to do is learn how to make $1. When you can make $1, you can make more. What if you can just make an extra $1,600 a month outside your 9 to 5? How could that change your world? So it is going to be my goal to now going into 2024 to help you actually land and make a pivot and land a high paid career, but also to make an additional 1K to 10K outside your 9 to 5. All right, by offering the world something of value and finding and putting it in front of the right people. All right, so that is going to be my goal. I hope to see you guys. Well, I'll be on here soon. I'll say this, and I hope you guys took away something from today, because I'll be acting up. So I hope I didn't act up that much today. So if you missed this, watch the replay. We'll post it shortly. You guys have a good day. So great to be back. I will see you guys. You probably see me a little later down there in Cabo. So, but I got work to do in the meantime. So I'm gonna get to work. You guys have a great day.